I was born in a valley of indescribable beauty. Swat, Pakistan, my home. A lush, mountainous stretch of northern Pakistan, full of legend, waterfalls, and winding rivers. Once a peaceful haven, Swat would become one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a girl who wanted to learn. My father ran a school. He spoke like education could light up the sky. I believed him. He named me Malala, after Malala Yousafzai, a Pashtun folk hero who rallied Afghan troops to battle with her poetry and bravery. She died with a flag in her hands, calling her people to courage. He told me, "Your name means grief-stricken, but you will be a voice, not a wound." He didn't want me hidden. He wanted me heard. My father Zayuddin wasn't just a teacher. He was an activist, a man who stood at a podium when others hid. He spoke against injustice, against fear, and built a school that welcomed girls when others closed their doors. He ran it not just with chalk and textbooks, but with hope and defiance. He co-founded the Kushal School and College, named after a great Pashtun poet and warrior, and opened its doors to girls and boys alike. Even when the shadows crept in, the Taliban moved in slowly, first banning music, then banning women from markets without male escorts. They came with guns and bitter eyes. They came with rules that made girls vanish from classrooms. I was 11 when the Taliban banned girls' education, but I didn't stop learning. I didn't stop speaking. By 2008, they had bombed over 400 schools in Pakistan, 70% of them girls' schools. Fear ran like poison through our streets, but it never silenced my father, and it never silenced me. In January 2009, when I was just 11 years old, I began writing an anonymous blog for the BBC under the name Gul Makai. I shared what life was like for a schoolgirl under Taliban rule. Every missed day of class, every bombed school, every whisper of fear. I wrote in Urdu and passed the notes to a reporter who typed them online. I wrote by candlelight, sometimes in code. I wrote the truth. My words traveled further than I ever had. They reached readers around the world. And even though no one knew it was me, I felt something awaken. Later that year, the Pakistani army pushed the Taliban out of Swat. I was revealed as the blogger behind Gul Makai. Suddenly, I was being interviewed, awarded, invited. But with that visibility came danger. I wrote. I spoke on the radio. I stood up in a room of silence and said, "I have the right to learn." And they heard me. It was October 9th, 2012. I was 15 when the bus stopped. School bag on my shoulder, hope in my chest. And suddenly, the world cracked. The air was still, the road dusty. Our school bus rolled slowly through the streets. We laughed quietly, the kind of tired giggles that come after a long day of classes. I sat by the window, the weight of books in my lap, the comfort of routine all around me. Then we stopped. A man, face hidden by a scarf, climbed aboard and stepped into the aisle. "Who is Malala?" he demanded. No one answered, but our silence betrayed me. He pointed and fired. I felt the heat before I felt the pain, then the cold, then nothing. A bullet entered the left side of my face and grazed my brain just above my left eye, lodging in my shoulder after shattering the bone behind it. My friends were injured too. I don't remember the chaos that followed. The screaming, the blood, the scramble to save me. I only remember the fading, the sinking, the stillness. I hovered between two worlds. The surgeons worked against time in Pakistan before flying me to Birmingham. I was in a coma for 10 days. When I awoke, I couldn't speak. Part of my face was paralyzed. Tubes ran in and out of me. I had no idea where I was, but slowly, Through pain and fog, I realized I was alive. The left side of my face would never be the same. I needed multiple surgeries. Titanium plates replaced shattered bone. My vocal cords were swollen and weak. But inside me, something fierce burned, and that meant I still had a voice. I should have died, but God whispered, "Not yet." They wanted to silence me. They thought a bullet would end my voice, but it only made it louder. My face was stitched. My skull was reshaped. My body was bruised. But my voice, it was waiting for me, stronger than ever. They flew me across continents to save me. But I didn't just survive. I became a symbol, not of fear, but of courage. The world reached out. Cards, prayers, letters from strangers in every corner of the earth. Michelle Obama wanted to meet me. Angelina Jolie called me brave. The UN invited me to speak. I stood before world leaders. I walked into the United Nations with a book in my hand and fire in my heart. I said, one child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. And they listened. I met girls who had walked miles to school, refugees who clutched books like lifelines, children who whispered dreams as if they were secrets. Their stories became part of mine. I knew then my voice was no longer just mine. It was theirs, too. I became the youngest person in history to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Over the years, I was humbled to receive many honors. The United Nations Prize in the field of human rights, the Sakharov Prize for freedom of thought, the Simone de Beauvoir Prize, the Philadelphia Liberty Medal, the Gleitzman International Activist Award from Harvard. Each award reminded me that the fight for education is not mine alone. It is global, and it is urgent. But I didn't want medals. I wanted classrooms. I wanted girls with dreams to be safe, to chase them. So I built the Malala Fund. I returned to Pakistan. I sat with presidents and children, with survivors and warriors. Because I was all of them. I still am. Through the Malala Fund, we've invested in local education activists across Afghanistan, Nigeria, Brazil, India, Lebanon, and more. We support STEM programs for girls. We help refugee girls find schooling. We lobby governments to fund future leaders. I studied at Oxford. I kept learning, kept listening, and kept speaking, because silence has never been an option. And now, as I continue to write, to travel, to advocate, I carry a simple truth. The pen is still my strongest weapon. Malala Yousafzai was born in 1997 in Pakistan's Swat Valley. Targeted by the Taliban for advocating girls' education, she was shot in the head at age 15. She survived against all odds and rose to become one of the most powerful voices for education and peace in the world. She co-authored the memoir I Am Malala, earned a philosophy, politics and economics degree from Oxford University, and continues to champion the rights of over 120 million girls denied education globally. Her story is not just one of survival. It's a story of conviction, of the pen over the gun, and of a young girl who refused to be silent. Would you have spoken up? Malala did, and the world will never be the same. Did you enjoy this true story? Please consider subscribing to help support our channel.